Hi everyone and welcome to this video. This month I've been working through the challenge of Inktober and it's been really awesome because I've been pushing myself out of my comfort zone, trying different styles and different ideas that I never would usually try, so for that reason it's been amazing. I've also tried to record some of the drawings, so that's why I've worked on this video. On the 20th day the word prompt was deep, so I decided to try and create a 3D looking drawing of a deep cave. I wanted to make use of shadows and highlights, creating a layered effect, showing the steps down into the darkness. So as you'll see during the inking and the shading process, I tried to add extremely dark shading towards the lowest levels of the cave, inking in this area with a Pentel brush pen. Then between each layer of the cave, I blended between a black Copic marker and all of the cool grey markers, and I tried to just make the levels lighter as it got closer towards the entrance of the cave. You'll also notice that towards the later stages of this drawing, for the rocks on top, I chose to add some light shading to them along with some bright highlights using my white Prismacolor pencil and a Uni-Ball white ink pen. And my reason for doing this was that I really wanted these highlights to contrast the darkness within the cave and hopefully help to add to that effect. This ended up actually being a really fun drawing to work on. I didn't anticipate how long it would take to add all the shadows and the highlights and all the details to the rocks on top, but I'm pleased with the way they look, and it was really interesting to try an idea like this. On the 22nd day, the word prompt was trail, so I decided to attempt a drawing of a forest trail. And I wanted to create the effect of distance by having a light background with a much darker foreground. So while working on the inking, I made sure to give the details in the far distance much finer outlines. Then I made the outlines much more prominent and much thicker as the details got closer to the foreground. So for the trees closest to the foreground, I completely blocked them in with ink using a brush pen. When it came to the shading, I started with the background first, using Cool Grey 3, then for the midground I used Cool Grey 5, and then finally I used Cool Grey 7 for the foreground. Imagining that the sun was shining from the left, I also added shadows to the right of each tree by adding extra layers with these markers. With the inking and the shading added to this drawing, it was then time for me to add the final layers of detail. And I chose to add highlights with the white Prismacolor pencil and the Uni-Ball white ink pen, just using them to develop the shape of the trees and add highlights to the grass and the actual forest path. Then I also wanted to add a hint of colour. Using a mixture of light pink, tender pink and crimson Copic markers, I added leaves to the trees, starting with the lightest colour with the light pink for the background trees, and then all the way up to the crimson leaves of the trees in the foreground. Then finally, I added the sun shining through the trees with the white pencil, and added some particle effects with the white ink pen. Then after that, the drawing was completed. I'm having so much fun with Inktober, and I really feel like it's a great way to pick up new techniques and just really push yourself to try new styles. And it's also just super satisfying to work through another sketchbook. I really hope you enjoyed watching this, and please let me know what you think, and also let me know if you have any suggestions for future videos. If you want to see more stuff like this, then feel free to subscribe, and any likes or shares on this video, they really mean a lot to me. If you want to follow me and see process photos before I post these videos, then check out the links in the description box below to check out my Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you all soon.